Hey everybody, this is Trevor and you're watching my channel, Social Dilemma. Thank you for coming today. Just had some breaking news researching today, and it concerns me. It's in my neck of the woods, Ontario, Canada, and the very tragic news for the Ontario teachers' pension. They obviously have investors who put money here and there and everywhere. And a few weeks ago, I had heard that these teachers' pensions were invested a lot of money into housing, and obviously housing markets are crashing. Uh, they even invest into sports teams, and I'm thinking over the next year or two that's going to turn out to be a bad investment as well, especially here in Ontario. Look at Toronto. So you've got the Toronto Maple Leafs, major NHL team. They have the Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto Raptors. I mean, three major sports. Then you have a smaller one, the CFL, the Toronto Argos. But I mean, Toronto is a hub for sports teams, and I see over the next few years, starting now until then, people are just going to stop. They can't afford to go to these games. Okay, people are barely paying the monthly bills right now, and of course, gas prices and food prices, everything plays into that. So I think that teachers' pensions that are getting invested in sports, housing, it's not a good investment. If you're a teacher, I would definitely speak up to whomever you have to in the when it comes to your pension investment. But here's the breaking news for today: that the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan invested 95 million US dollars into the failing crypto platform FTX. And over the past few days, FTX crypto platform it's failing. What's going to happen to the teachers? 95 million US. Okay, so that's. I mean, you do the exchange. It's like 150 million Canadian. Like, it's a ton of money. And I wonder how many teachers actually sit down at least once a week and spend an hour looking over where their pension funds are being invested. Now, I'm no financial advisor, but I can tell you right now, at my age, 49 years old, I can tell you I've never invested in crypto. The only reason why I would have ever invested in crypto would be to, like, if I could go back to 2010 and dump $10,000 into Bitcoin, I would have done that. And I tell you right now, I've never bought crypto, but I follow the prices enough. By Christmas time 2013, if I had sold 10,000 shares of Bitcoin, I would have been like a millionaire. Or kept some more and sold them in 2017. I mean, I would have just sold them and got my fiat currency, and then turned that fiat currency into real investments like real estate and precious metals such as gold and silver. So the only reason why I would have ever invested in crypto would be to have, converted it back to something even worse than crypto, which is fiat currency. But I would have made off like a bandit had I put $15,000, which I had back in like 2010, 2011. I could have put that money into Bitcoin and just waited a couple years, and every year sold off enough, and just took that fiat currency, and like went and bought property. Okay, and just, which I think on a personal level is pretty good. Like before I mentioned, I know that teacher pensions, they're heavily invested in real estate. It's more commercial real estate, and commercial real estate, not a good investment. I mean, obviously in the last 2 years, government and the powers to be have pushed small business and medium business out, and gave platforms like Amazon and anything to order online, and those kinds of ways of doing business now. That's how government wants it done. So I think on a personal level, if you make sure you have yourself a good piece of property. I think that's okay. But when you're putting millions of dollars into the hands of investors and allowing them to go, I mean, I don't know. If I'm a teacher, I certainly hope that you are looking into your pension, your money, and where it's going. But you're probably out. If you're an Ontario teacher right now, you're going to be out. 95 million US. It's probably it could be gone, or you'll regain it. But here's what's going to happen. I guess the government will have to come and bail that out. So the government printing machine here in Canada is going to it's going to go burr, 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 and it's going to print out the money. Well, that's going to drive inflation up. Okay, again, more money in the system. It's not a very good thing. It's going to drive the value of the dollar down. But I guess a short-term gain for short-term gain for long-term pain. That's how government operates. So, I guess the Ontario teachers, you'll probably get your money back. I mean, you don't want to piss the teachers off here. I guess they could go on strike. So I don't know what could happen, but that's a major, major investment loss for the Ontario teachers. Pension, $95 million into a failing crypto platform, FTX. So will you get your money back? Probably not. The government will have to bail that out, and that's just not good in the long run. Okay, it's just going to drive more business out. And who pays the teacher's salary but the taxpayers? Private free market organizations, small, medium, large businesses. We pay the teacher's salary. Okay, 100% of your pay comes from taxation. And, it just infuriates me that you'll get bailed out. As where, small business, they just get run out the door. So yeah, I don't know. That's my little rant there about that part of it. But that's why I wish education was not in the control of government and was a free market organization, and you could be free to choose your education and pay for the education that you want and that you need. But okay, that's a little sidebar on that one. But to get back to this, I think if you are a teacher, though, you got to start looking into your pensions. Okay. I mean, you basically just, I mean, this is scary stuff. Like $95 million from the Ontario teacher's pension was invested in crypto. I can't even, I don't know. I think crypto it's very unstable. It's just, no, I don't invest in crypto. The only thing I can say about crypto is I wish I could go back in time 12 years and I would dump 15 grand into it. But I would have sold it all out by 2017 and, cashed it all in for the fiat currency. And I would have just bought other things, gold and silver. Oh. So that's my, news about Ontario teachers' pension. You just lost $95 million because of a failing crypto platform, FTX. So that's part one here. And the part two also deals with Ontario schools. As of here, November 16th, 2022, the CUPE union for the support staff workers here, there's about at least 55,000 of them in Ontario. They rejected the government's deal, the contract that they came up with. And so it looks like the support staff, the CUPE union workers here in Ontario, could go back on strike as of, this coming Monday or perhaps tomorrow. I don't know when. So they've rejected the deal and it looks like they're going to go back on strike. So, yeah, I guess teachers and support staff that work in schools here in Ontario are, they're hitting everybody. The CUPE, it hits parents because now parents have to figure out what do you do with your kids if you got to work from outside the house and whatnot. And, teachers losing 95 million American, that's really going to piss them off. And it rightfully so. So if you are a teacher, man, look into your pensions and where they're getting invested. And, I mean, you got to start looking at some smart investments. Crypto's not a smart investment. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm not a financial advisor, but I can say I'm happy with sticking to precious metals. Again, I think real estate, is a good investment on a personal note. But for massive investments, definitely don't. I wouldn't get into the commercial aspect right now. Not right now. I don't see. Because we've had a massive shift in the past 2 years from, infrastructure building and commercial work to a lot of commercial businesses now. People are going back to work, but they're able to downsize their infrastructure, their commercial real estate, their buildings that they own, and yeah, people are able to work more at home or just go into an office 2 or 3 days a week. So I don't know. If anyone out there, not just teachers too, you got a pension, you got to start looking into where these people are investing it. And crypto's not something I would be a fan of. I'd be looking, if you got a pension plan, I'd hope, and you have a voice in it. Really look into precious metals. Okay, I think that's a solid investment. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Looks like CUPE union workers could possibly go back on strike, and the Ontario teachers just lost 95 million in their pension. But she'll probably get that back. The government will print it out, and that'll just, short-term gain for long-term pain. So there we go. Okay, there we go. Have a good day. Stay free.